Well, the barbershop, as he explains, a barbershop is what? He says, it's calendars on the wall, it's pictures on the wall, it's mirrors, and it's the past. You know, we discover that it's the barbershop of his youth, when it was the first place he ever got a haircut when he was a little kid. And so in a way, you realize ultimately that he's actually going back to his past, to his childhood, to capture something there that he's lost. That's the way I think of it.
Rob, you read the script and you said yes. Did you read the book?
I hadn't read it before. I hadn't read any DeLillo before I read the script. So the dialogue and everything, the style seemed kind of completely fresh, like almost to the point it was jarring, especially when I was reading a lot of scripts at the time, and suddenly something comes with this. It's very kind of poetic and musical, and no one really, there's not a lot of screenwriting that really concentrates on dialogue. It's not the most important thing. It's kind of, it's what one of your jobs as an actor is, you know, to make it sound like real words, not just, and to have something that's so highly stylized, but also very engaging. It didn't seem like it was stylized without a point. Which I think is really difficult.
Well, the characters in this film, almost all of them, are saying very profound things.
They are. And it's difficult. I mean, there's a lot of it. I think the audience has to not try to absorb it and understand it all. It kind of washes over you. You've got to relax and let it wash over you, like a surf, you know, like some kind of a strange surf. But if you see the movie again, or if you should ever read the script, the stuff is very profound. It's there's a lot of philosophy in the movie about capitalism and
the future. There is a character, I'm your chief of theory.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And it's interesting to think that you might have a billionaire bond trader, money manipulator, who feels that one of the people he should have every day talking to him is basically a woman who's a philosopher, who's talking to him about the philosophy of money and capitalism and society and the future and all of that, and how they interrelate. And I can see that actually a really, you know, hyper serious money person would want that, you know, because all of that, though, for this character is just a way to make more money. It's not to enhance his life the way philosophy might be. It's not to give him some kind of peace in his life. It's just to sort of figure out how, okay, knowing this about the future, where the world is going, I can now anticipate the markets and make some more money.
He's always sort of looking for a corner, for insurance. I mean, this is a guy that gets a doctor's checkup every single day.
Yes, he does. And I just want to say that there is a scene that involves a prostate exam with Rob. So, you know, you might want to see the movie.
The thing is, it's long and slow, too.
As a prostate exam should be.
Well, you're the connoisseur.
But so rarely is. Rob said he had no idea until after we shot the scene that most prostate exams take about 10 seconds. Right. His takes 6 minutes.
And he's holding a conversation with somebody whose face is like this far away.
That is true.
You know what? When we talk about a chief, you know, the chief of theory and all these profound things, I want to make sure that people don't misunderstand and see this film as homework, as some people have. It's pretty funny.
It's extremely funny.
And it's presented in such a kind of dry way that half the time people have no idea if they're supposed to laugh or not.
But it is funny, and Don DeLillo's writing in general is very funny. It's comic writing of a very strange kind.
I think we have a clip that demonstrates a little bit of the kind of humor that's at work here. You'll be unsurprised to learn it's a little on the dark and dry side from David Cronenberg. Who would have expected that?
So rich and crisp. Does she let you touch her personal parts?
You look gorgeous today.
Yeah.
Everyone uses that clip as the comedy clip. That's what happened.
Why, Rob,
I think
I
you got a
screwed
little-
up the order.
Yeah, you did.
A nice guest might not have pointed that out. Thanks,
I could have
bro.
told you. Rob is not nice.
It was weird.
Okay.
I did a Good Morning America this morning, and the whole crew was hysterically laughing at that clip. I was just like, what? I mean, uncontrollable laughter. Totally out of context. I was like, wow, Good Morning America is the target audience for the clip.
You gotta get them before they've had too much coffee. There's a thing with cars in this movie and other movies. You have a rather significant relation with technology, and this car is rigged. It's sort of, you feel like that car could land on the moon if it needed to. It's just jam-packed with technology. So it's not just a car.
No, correct. But it's realistic enough. I mean, you could make a car like this, definitely. But it does have a kind of Space Odyssey feel. And it's because for this character, his limo is many things. It's like a tank, it's like a submarine, it's like a spaceship, it's like a time capsule.
It's like a hotel room, too.
Not the one I'm in right now. Maybe we'll switch rooms.
I think you got to have Rob in the room to turn it into the kind of vehicle that this car is. In terms of sort of in your films, a lot of times there's scientists, there's doctors, and I wondered if this time have capitalists sort of taken a place in the pantheon, because you have scientists and doctors using technology to transform either themselves or others in many of your films. And in this instance, capitalists are using technology to transform the world, mostly set it on fire, from what I could tell.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I mean, Rob and I ended up ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange together to open the day of trading.
That is so weird.
Yeah. And I gotta say, they were the most happy, warm, laughing, friendly capitalists you could ever meet. And I started to think, I should be buying stocks. I don't know why I've been resisting. And then you think, well, wait a minute. You know, this character is really, he's really transformed money into philosophy or abstraction, because although he deals with billions of dollars every day, he never touches actual money. And that's one of the things that really has happened. You know,
His chief of theory says money has lost its narrative quality. It doesn't have a story.
That's right. No story and no physical substance anymore. And it becomes almost a game or an abstraction to this character. So in a way, he's like the metaphysician of money. You know, he's transformed it into, it disappears.
But well, not to get too deep, you guys, but it's pure currency that takes him down.
Well,
he does a currency play, the yuan.
Yes, but you have to ask yourself, does he not know that he's doing this? I mean, is this not a kind of suicide, you know, a financial suicide?
That's what I was wondering when he was driving across town is, he's going to get a haircut. Is it so it looks good at his funeral? Is it a suicide mission that he's on? Because he's sort of, he's madly having sex, madly drinking, madly burning big bonfires full of money. Is it so he can feel? Is it?
You want me to like interpret the movie? I made the movie. Now you have to interpret it.
Okay,
That's your job.
I think he's absent in a way and unable to feel the consequence of any of his decisions. He gets married, but it isn't really a marriage. He makes money, but he never sees it. It's like his food has no taste. He has sex in very absent ways. Is like a guy who's lost his ability to feel.
I buy that. What about you, Rob? No, really.
Believe me, you don't want me teaching a film theory class. Rob, did you see your character as evil?
Not at all. No.
Callow?
Yeah, a little self-obsessed. I mean, that's kind of, but I mean, not evil at all. I mean, I've read things, people saying he's like a monster, and it's like, no, it's kind of, I always saw it as relatively hopeful when I was playing it. I mean, he's reaching for something, yeah, he's not trying to hurt other people, even though he sort of, theoretically is. Like he has no
With
intention.
the flick of a wrist, he's hurting a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's like, it's all, it's fictions, and his relationship with empathy is very, it's kind of, he doesn't really understand it very much.
Yeah, when he was in the Montessori line where they handed out empathy, I think they had run out.
But the whole story, I think a lot of it, I mean, well, one of my ideas about it was, that's what he's trying to find. I mean, and he kind of gets it for a second at the end when he tells Paul Giamatti, he tells Bemo, I could tell you my life's changed in the course of the day, and it has. Like and so he has that few seconds of being himself, and he suddenly, that's who he is, I think.